10:14. Our cousin got married, and my cousin was going down to the inn fair. That's after the marriage. That's a bride and groom. And Ulysses came by and asked me to go with him. And I said no. So he went on down to Oak Grove Settlement. And he was driving down the road. He was driving had a black buggy with red tires and a black mule, blue harness and everything. And he was driving down and he met this white man, Philippine, from Alabama. And he looked up and said, "Here comes this goddamn nigger." And he drove up beside him and he'd gotten out of give him half of the road and put his buggy up on the I can't say sidewalk, on the side of the road and give him all the road. And he drove up beside him and cussed him out. This damn nigger. And he hit him, drove up beside him, hit him with his buggy whip and stripped his face with his buggy whip. So Ulysses turns around and comes back home and tells his daddy what happened. And his father was sitting down in my mother's house talking about, we'd been to Blakely that day before to the Masons Inn Fair. And he's sitting down there talking about it.
So where was your mother's home? What
That was my mother's home.
What city was that?
Blakely, out in the country, Gurlie County. 7 miles in the country. And they were sitting there. My mother, everybody, she was the baby sister of all of them. They called her Babe. And we were sitting there, he was sitting there talking, and I was in the bed about the inn fair the Mason had had in town that day before. And while he was talking, his mother came up and said, "Grandson, you sitting down here laughing and talking with Babe?" That was my mother, that's the baby's sister.
And Grandison was her brother?
No, that was her nephew.
Her nephew.
And they're sitting down talking about the day before in Blakely to the inn fair, Mason's inn fair. And Sarah, who was his mother, said, "You sitting down here laughing and talking with Babe, and that white man done split your boy's face and Ulysses' face and he hit him with a boogie whip." And so he looked up and said, "What you said, Mom?" She repeated it. He looked up at the top of the house. Can I repeat something? Can I repeat anything? I was in bed, and I pulled the cover off my face and looked at him, looked up in the top of the house and said, "Well, got a proper scar. If anybody ever hit one of my children, they'd have to kill me." So he gets up and goes home. We lived on the public road then. And he goes on his plantation to his house and tells their wife what happened. He called all of his cousins. We lived on the plantation together. He called everybody down near him and told them, "Listen, said Philippines, this white man, he's Ulysses, my oldest son, to his face, and drove on off. And I promise anybody ever hit one, any white man, anybody ever hit one of my children, I die." So he sits there and talk, and then he gets up and goes back and tells all his folks, his cousins, "I want everybody to get off this place." So he had a large plantation. I want everybody on this plantation to leave. I don't want nobody here but me and my wife leave. Because she was good. She was good as him.
Do you remember the name of the plantation?
Granison Gurlie plantation. And I want everybody, her grandmother, now her father, her mother lives down below here. And he gets up, he tells them, now you go, get off of here. And the superintendent, he was the class leader in the church and a trustee. And the superintendent and him was like buddies. So couldn't Peter come over and told him to get away, to leave. He said, I'm not going anyplace. And he gets up, tells everybody on the place to leave but Mary, which was his wife. He didn't want nobody on the house but just Mary and him. And he goes down to the secretary of the Mason's house. And while he was there, the mob came in. And they met a cousin of his, the joining plantation, my man Jeff White. They met Hatch Jewel and asked him did he know where Granison was. He said, I don't know where he could be unless we're down to Charlie Holmes, who was the secretary of the Mason. So they got themselves together, goes down to Charlie Holmes. He goes up and overhead. And Granison goes up and overhead and says, they're not going to take me alive. I'll be dead when I leave out. He goes up there and kicks off a boat. And as they drove up, he shot them. And they stopped and said, damn it, he's going to kill all of us. Let's get away from him.
These were the white people that came
No,
up?
the white people at the mall. The mall. This was a gang up. They say he killed 9. And they stopped. One of them said, let's leave him alone. There ain't no way we can do nothing about him unless we set the house afire. And that's how when they set the house afire down here, it wasn't a 2-story house, just like this loft is up over here, just called it the loft of the house. And there was a hall in the building, just like this, out here. And they saw him cross from one part of the hall to the other. And when they did, they shot him. Now he had, no, I'm hit him story. He stood at that window, I think he killed 9. And they said, damn it, we got to get away from him because he's going to kill all of us. One said, I tell you how we get it, set the house on fire. When this part of the house started burning, he goes across this hall over the other side. That's when they seen him. And when they seen him, they shot him as he fell down in the loft down on the first floor. But the house, they drove him out, but he was dead. And after that, they allowed nobody around there. They left because they didn't want the people, the Negroes, to know how many people he stood up there and killed. He killed them as they drove up. And to tell, I've heard, I was a quiet kid. I think I was about 10 years old. They said that he had killed 7. And we better know. And so they left. And as they would come up, they would shoot the colored folks. You know. Of course, he told them, nobody's coming here. The superintendent of the Sunday school, his brother, and his first cousin, he told them, nobody coming here. So I'm going to drink death for myself. Those are the words he said. And while they was getting out, leaving out, they would meet someone, Granison leave here. His name was Granison Gooseberry. grandson, you get out of here. They gonna kill you. Say, I'm gonna stay right here, and I want every one of you all to leave off of here, but my wife, Mary, and me. I'm gonna bring death for myself.
How did they know to come look for him?
Huh?
How did the white men know to come look for Granison?
Well, you know they know where he lives, because we got a great big plantation.
But didn't his son do something? Didn't the son that was hit with the whip?
You see, what it was all about. Ulysses was his oldest son. And I'm 14 days older than Ulysses. This cracker, Philippi from Alabama, he's Alabama cracker. And when he met him, he was going this way, and the white man was going this way, and he was going this way down to an end path. That's what they call end path. After we got this girl, got married, they went down to her home there, what you call a repast, you know. And he was going on down there, so he gave him half of the road when they went to check it out. His buggy was up on this side, way up here. But he just wanted to hit him because he was driving, had it, because just what he couldn't grab, so they give him this horse, mule and buggy. And it was a black buggy with red tires, you know, and that was a Cadillac them days. And he just drove upside. Now he hadn't done a thing to him. He was gonna give him all of the road, and he drove over to his side. You never seen a buggy whip, I don't guess.
Well, on TV.
Well, that's what he had. He hit him across his face, stripped this side of his face. And he, here he goes. Excuse me. He went on out of his business. When Gramps went down to see him, "Y'all come the son of a bitch that I beat the hell out of yesterday." So he said, "Mr. Philippi, I didn't come down here to fight you." He said, "But what did my son do to you?" And he went to cuss me, cussed everything that he's big enough to say. He goes back, he has a shotgun with a ring shell in it. He gets out of his buggy, go back there and take that shotgun out and cut him half in two. From the back there, cut him half in two. And when they come out this building, see, they said they had 7 white bodies that he set up there and killed. To 7 of us. And so they slipped them out, they stopped them, keeping the body from knowing how many that he killed. And when it was trouble.
Well, that was the part that you had missed saying before, how Granison had gone to Mr. Philippi and had hurt him, and that's why the white men came looking for him.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to get back to.
Yeah, because when he took out it, then they used a ring shell, they call it. You ever seen a shotgun?
Well, kind of.
Well, they have a shell about that long. And he cut it. They call that a ring. And when he shot him, he cut him half in two. And got in his buggy and come on back home and told everybody, her grandmother, all of them, get off the place. When they're driving up to Gurlie, which was his first cousin, and Simon, which was his brother. Well, half of his brother, Winky, was his brother-in-law. He lived in a creek between them. His brother-in-law stayed across the creek, and so he told all of y'all to get off this place. I don't want nobody here but myself and my wife, Mary. So, everybody left, but there was so they just stayed and died with him. Gurlie, Simon, and Winky, that was his brother. Gurlie was the first cousin, Simon was his brother, and Winky was his brother.